Hey, when looking into learning, when looking into processes, when looking into problem solving, there are two major styles of work, styles of systems. The first style is systems of optimization, and the second one is systems of redundancy or buffering or problem solving based systems. Systems of optimization try to get it right and try to make it more and more accurate and correct. They're, of course, based on core knowledge that must be well established, must be correct for them to really work well. And then the other style of work is based on the fact that we're not going to get it right. So we need buffers, we need the protection zones, we need the ability to be resourceful, to problem solve, we need redundancy, we need extras, etc. The first style of work, systems of optimization, if it works great and it goes all the way through, but rarely does it work. And then the second style also has its problems when you are all the time focusing on fixing the problems that are arising and at times totally neglect the core structure and direction and core knowledge that is everything is based on. So sometimes they totally miss the boat. And of course, there is a third type, a type that combines both. And you can see these three styles of systems everywhere. For example, if we make some generalizations, and of course, this is going to be too black and white, but still will be educating you. If you look at dance, for example, then classical dance, ballet, is based on that optimization, or at least what they view as optimized technique, positioning, etc. And then the more contemporary approaches are more open. There is no correct way, and there is more the capacity to, again, problem solve, to offer alternatives, to be resourceful, to have adroitness, to have that capacity available. If you look at martial arts, the traditional martial arts, if we make, again, a generalization, they move to the direction of optimizing. And this really can be very extreme, like within fields like Tai Chi or certain Japanese arts that are more kind of internalized and look at the structure and look at positioning. And they really try to get the mind right. They really try to get the body right, each joint and the whole thing together, and then kick on a state which is the right state. So it keeps climbing those layers. And then the more modern approach is all about applicability, functionality, aliveness. So it's tested. But if you look at modern martial arts, technically it's very poor because it's all based on problem solving. So it's a little bit like driving very well, but your car is a bit old, a bit broken, but you can still drive it pretty well. And then the other approach is more like building the optimal car, but maybe you have absolutely no idea on how to drive it. And there is combinations, like even within modern and traditional approaches, there are more combined approaches that, for example, in boxing, you see a lot of optimizing of the technique and the positioning to a certain extent. For example, when you work on the heavy bag, or when you're working with certain technical drills, really accurate, really pinpointed down. Boxers are usually a lot more technical than MMA fighters, etc. But then there is this problem solving, this work within daily practice, sparring, even the partnering drills is like constantly all about problem solving. This also appears within approaches to meditation or stillness. There are approaches which are very minimal. They focus on the right thing, a way to drop in, a way to kick in that state. But then there are systems that are more like helping you create some kind of feedback loop and recorrect your positioning in relation to the object of meditation and more problem solve on the go so you can find it. Again, most of these systems, one style or another, is based on a practitioner that kind of, kicked in the whole knowledge. The whole system is based on one practitioner or a generations. In each generation, there is a few influential people that kind of continue to fortify that system. And those are people that are found success within that approach. So naturally, with their success, they're trying to pass it on. And sometimes you are totally different person with totally different needs, and you need to find your way to a different system. Then the combined systems, the systems that are offering both working within optimization and working within redundancy and problem solving, those allow some flexibility in work. And usually their weakness is considered their lack of devotion to one line of work. So sometimes people get disappointed from these more open approaches because it didn't give them the big results, which one day they get by focusing on one element, which they needed. So that is also something to mention. Understanding all of this allows us to navigate perhaps better our own development and growth, and understand where we are on the map in terms of which system am I meeting now and which system do I need now. What approach do I need now? Sometimes you really need to go back to optimization and get that core direction going very well. And other times this gets stuck quickly, and then you are meeting a point of failure. You need to problem solve, go to a more redundancy based system, and then maybe cycle back and forth. In the way that I'm teaching people, I'm trying to combine a lot of different tools from different directions, but I'm also aware that certain people need a specific thing here or there, and try to tailor it individually. So it's not about me creating also a system, an approach which is finalized, like some people like to do Ido Portal method or whatever name it is, but more about tailoring the process with the individual through communication over years and decades to slowly find that direction. You are constantly cycling and realigning, problem solving, optimizing, back and forth. And with enough dedication and enough hard work, quality, soft hard work applied, you might be able to move through. I hope this is useful. Have a good one. Big hugs.